This is still showing Monday. Oh, that's Monday, January 16th.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, this is
Chairman
out of
Kinski,
date.
we're live.
I'll call the meeting to order. This is the Appropriations Committee for the Senate, Friday, January 2023. The first matter for our consideration is continuing the hearing on SF 82, eligible water and sewer projects funding, and go ahead and take the roll, please.
Senator Anderson.
Here.
Senator Guru.
Here.
Senator Nethercott.
Excused.
And Senator Salzar. And Chairman Kinski.
Here. So welcome Senator Steinmetz and Hank, I can't remember your last name, Hoverland? Hovers. Okay. So we've got an amendment. Do we have it on our table here? Has it been just?
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee for having us again.
Mike.
Oh, she just has to pull it closer.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee for having us again. As you know, we were trying to reconcile Senate File 82 with the placeholder we'd put in the ARPA funding bill that has not yet been numbered on the House side. It's starting on the House side. And so basically, I'm going to tell you what this amendment does, and then for a further explanation, Hank will take over. But basically, this ensures that there's $39.3 million either way for water and sewer projects. And so this would take priority. So with that, Hank.
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, I think Senator Steinmetz summarized that pretty well. It also, as you'll see on lines 3 through 6 of the amendment, it's a similar amendment to what the JAC did, making sure that these are not any new applications. So it's just going to backfill what was not able to be funded by SLIB due to insufficient money. So that's what lines 3 through 6 do, and then lines 8 through 15 do exactly what Senator Steinmetz.
I'm sorry, do you have a copy of the amendment? Can we get the agency a copy of the amendment? Sorry about that. Okay, let's continue, Hank. I saw a look on her face.
Yeah, my apologies. So what that does is Senator Steinmetz said it well. It ensures that there's 39.3 million additional dollars to this program in 2023. However, if the ARPA bill over in the House, that if it passes in its final form, puts 40 million, then 40 million is final. This Senate File 82 will not have any additional money. If it'll, as this summary that you have before you, it has a gold line on it to show in numbers what the practical effects of this amendment are. Right now, as the ARPA bill stands in the House, as it is introduced, it will have $30 million in it.
Excuse me, did you, I thought you said they amended it to 40.
I said if they had, that
Oh,
was
if they had,
hypothetical. My
okay.
apologies.
All right.
My apologies. So as it stands right now, it has 30 million that was passed by JAC. So right now, SF Senate File 82 will only appropriate an additional $9.3 million. And at the bottom, it shows that the ending balance of the ARPA funds as it stands without any amendments would be about $17.3 million. So that's that change.
You had a transposition. You said 39.3 or 33. Well, no, 39.3. Senator Guru.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, because I've been carrying around a dog-eared copy of this for a couple of weeks now, and today's fresh copy has Senate File 82 amended. So the way I read this is the 30 million was profiled and already there. The 9.3 million add-on, and that just because before it was 9.3 plus $17,296,000. That would have been that's the number on my dog-eared copy. So now all we're taking out of the total number that's remaining is 9.3. So when this hits the floor, if it all works the way we're trying to amend it to work, there'll still be 17.296734 for the floor. Floors. Okay.
Mr.
I got that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
So I guess I didn't follow that. The way I read it, if there's 30 million in the other bill, you get 39.
That's correct. And that's what this shows. So
Where's the 17 coming?
the 17 is the remaining total ARPA direct
Okay,
funds.
gotcha.
And that you'll show that at the bottom of this sheet with the gold line
Okay,
in the SF, excuse me, SF 82 amended column.
so under this amendment, it's not possible to over appropriate given things as they are now.
Should not be, no, Mr.
Okay.
Chair.
And well, I'll turn it over to committee for questions and I'll ask my questions. Anything? This is different than what I thought we were going to do. And just, I'm not saying that I disagree with it. I'm just, it's different. I thought originally we were going to say, if the ARPA bill passes with 10 million, you get 10 million of this bill. If the ARPA bill passes with 40 million, you get 40 million. Is that not what we talked about? I mean, I'm okay with this writing of it because I don't think you go wrong by guaranteeing 39 million. Yes.
We did talk about that, Mr. Chairman. We did talk about that yesterday, but I think we were making an assumption there that the 30 million was not profiled anywhere, that it was not part of, but it was. And so the 30 million is always, it has already been there. And so it's just the 9.3 that's going to affect the number. It's 39, but it's 30 million was already anticipated.
Okay.
I'm sure.
And I did,
Senator
I
Steinmetz.
did remember that it was profiled. I just I was concerned that somehow as the bill goes through, it might be dumped to 10,
Right.
which means this is still 39. And I need to know if that's a little bit different than what we talked about. I just need to know if the committee's okay with this amendment as it is. Senator Anderson?
Yes.
Senator Grew, I don't think you go wrong putting it into water and sewer. So I mean, I'm okay with Senator Salazar. Senator Steinmetz, and you're okay with it too.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I apologize if I misunderstood. I thought we were trying to clear up that so that we didn't over appropriate.
Yeah.
So if the way it was written, we would have had 30 million here and 39 million here, and we would have over appropriated. And that's what I thought we were trying to clear up. So if there's something more that you want, I'm glad to go back to the drawing.
Senator Steinmetz, that's what's so wonderful about getting things written down on paper.
Thank you,
know,
Mr. Chair.
that way we can all kind of make sure we're on the same page. So with that, anything else before I ask the agency for comment? Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, this,
Oh, wait a minute, Senator Guru?
oh,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, this assumes that SF 66 is going to pass for 50 million of that also. And
The
the
50
total being 89, 30, 300.
The 50 million was in SF 66. It's gone.
Oh, it's already done.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is an additional 30 because they had so many left on the list. Is that correct? Senator
And my
Guru?
only question, Mr. Chairman, so this is going to be a JAC amendment that we add on to from, or is it a?
Well, it'll be an amendment. We can handle the amendment, but I don't know that you need us to do that. What's your pleasure, Senator Steinmetz?
Mr. Chairman, whatever your pleasure is, if you'd like me to bring it on the floor, I absolutely can. If you'd rather handle it here, whichever way.
Well, I think it's good for you to handle the amendment and then we'll back you up if any's
All
needed.
right,
I can't
thank you.
imagine you needing any help.
Well, it is Friday.
All right,
Thank you.
agency. Welcome, Director Scoggins. You've had a busy year, busier during CARES, and
Yes.
COVID.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for the clarification in here too about, we don't have any issues with this. Clearly, we're happy to continue to administer the program as directed by the legislature. We do appreciate the clarification about no additional applications because we had gotten some questions about if additional monies were appropriated for this program, whether we would entertain new and additional applications, and this limits it to just what we have in the door. So appreciate that we have.
And what we were trying to do is simply capture what we heard you said you wanted to do and what we heard the governor wanted to do. More so the governor than you, but of course we did hang it heavyweight.
Darn it.
So I have a question about lines 3 through 6. This deadline, January 23, 2023, is not the deadline for the water and sewer grant applications. That's the deadline for the local infrastructure, water and sewer low priority grants. What was the deadline date? And maybe it doesn't matter because you're not going to get more water and sewer grants at this time, but I just as to be a point of accuracy, what was the deadline for the water and sewer grants?
September. Excuse me, Mr. Chairman, let me confer with Ms. Blackwell.
Mr. Chairman, I can't remember the exact date, but it was early August this summer, so August 2022. We had opened the application period early July. It was open for 6 weeks.
Do you care if this says January 23rd, 2023?
Mr. Chairman, I don't think that that makes a huge difference to us.
Okay,
Because it could be possible that some of those applications that come in from the local government program could also qualify for this too.
okay. And and because I don't want to pick the wrong date and then really confuse it further. All right, well, thank you. Anything else? Anything for the agency committee? Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Any other agency comment? No? Open comment to the public? Public, anybody on Zoom? I'll close comments to the committee. Second. And I'll move the amendment.
Oh, no, Sherry was.
Oh, you're going to bring it. Oh, it's going to be brought completely on the floor. Okay. No. That's good. That's good. Okay, discussion on the bill. Discussion on the bill, hearing none, call the roll.
Senator Anderson.
Aye.
Senator Guru. Senator Salzar. Chairman Kinsky.
Aye. Thank you very much, Senator Steinmetz. Okay, I texted, you texted Rothfuss, I did as well. So we'll just stand at ease for just a couple minutes until Senator Rothfuss gets here.
81 or 61.
I think he's on 61 and, oh, we didn't get 62. How come we didn't get 62? We introduced it and it was re-referred.
Well, we got 82, 61 and 76.
And 61 is a re-referral as is 62. Pardon? Yeah, we have it in our packet. And it's noticed, although we don't have to notice re-referrals. That's why I've got that line on the bottom. The committee will hear additional re-referrals as received as time permits. 62 is not re-referred to us, huh? Okay.
So Rothfuss is on both. Did you go on?
Yeah,
Yeah, no worries. I appreciate that.
be in their updated fiscal impact note. Actually, I don't have the updated one in front of me. You probably do. The one I had was $250,000 to provide that programming upgrade. It's now 270,000 in the newly updated administrative impact.
You want to give that to me?
It's not in there. Do you? Yeah,
266 is what we have.
266. Okay, that's good. Perfect. So with that, then, when we heard that testimony, had the discussion, from my perspective, it is a perfectly reasonable amount. They don't have the capacity to do it right now. And they just wanted to make sure that they weren't, paying for it out of their standard budget. So I asked the Corporations Committee to put in an amendment for $270,000 to pay for those expenses, which was the request effectively. Hopefully it can be done for less than that, but nothing seems unreasonable about the request, in my opinion, Mr. Chairman. And I'll stop there, and you can hear from the Secretary of State's office as well, if you'd like.
All right, Secretary of State's office, please. Welcome.
Senator Rothfuss, are we gonna leave the standing committee amendment for Case to present, or are we gonna?
I don't know that it matters. I asked that they put it on in standing committee so they could discuss it, and that was the request of the Secretary of State's office, so I had it drafted there. I don't care which committee presents.
Okay.
Do you have a preference?
If Case is doing it, I'd like him to do it.
Yeah, let's have Senator Case do it.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Joe Rubino, I'm the Policy Director for the Wyoming Secretary of State's office. To my left is Jesse Naaman. He is the Deputy Secretary of State. Yeah, we don't have very much comment. We're in support of this appropriation for $266,520 as indicated in our revised agency estimate of administrative impact. As Senator Rothfuss had indicated, really a couple of additional administrative costs on our office that are described there in the description. So I won't go into that in much more detail. But the cryptographic certificate and registration is entirely unique to our office. There are also 2 costs associated with providing this type of certificate. The office would need to contract with a vendor for automated digital document signing certificate services to be utilized through an API, and the exact cost of this service is unknown at this time, as the cost is variable depending on volume. However, we have estimated that $270,000 figure, which includes now the additional $18,120 cost to modify the WYO Suite business module, which is to update the additional the WYO Suite business module would be to list those, provide a list for those assets registered. So we are in support of the appropriation.
Okay, questions from the committee? Questions for the agency? All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Anything before I go to public comment, Senator Rothfuss? Public comment, anybody on Zoom? Okay, I'll close public comments to the committee. Moved and seconded, discussion?
Where is this 266,520?
Very last page.
Yeah, I get that. But
Oh,
it's not already in the bill. It was not a. Oh, it's an amendment. Oh. Okay.
but you have the amendment, it's right before the rule, it's right before.
If the amendment though is, it's 270,000, right?
Right.
Only because I rounded it.
Yeah,
Oh, that's the same number. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. All right, it'll be in section 4 then.
Yeah.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
And anything else from the committee? Okay, please call the roll.
Senator Anderson,
Aye.
Senator Carew,
Aye.
Senator Salzar, and Chairman Kinsky.
Aye. So Kale will carry the standing committee amendment.
Yes.
All right, all things digital. Well, now we're on something not digital.
That's
You-
right.
how
I'm,
can-
I'm totally confused by not bringing.
Yeah, I was gonna
something
say,
blockchain. Yeah.
Are you really comfortable if it's not digital?
We
Chairman,
talked about water yesterday, Mr. Chairman, and I was like, this is how it feels like when everybody else is talking about blockchain. I'm standing up talking about water.
Mr. Chairman,
Please.
welcome the Secretary of State to the bill, but we just finished your bill. Okay. Oh, okay. Just, well.
They
as-
handed it ably.
They did a
ably.
wonderful job. I just wanted to.
And not once did they look around for you. They just went right ahead, which is a sign, a good sign, right? All right, we're on Senate File 61, legislator per diem, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, legislator per diem, Senate File 61 is a product of the Management Council. It has an update, and you have the amendment. Do you have the amendment? It was your amendment, actually.
Yes, it's the last page.
Okay. I don't know that I have it, but I remember it. So as amended, Mr. Chairman, the bill changes the per diem rate for legislators as of July 1st, 2023 to be matched with the General Services Administration of the federal government per diem rate for the state of Wyoming. And that would then be an ongoing policy so that there would be no need to update it because the GSA updates it, I think about annually, if I'm not mistaken. So this would take care of per diem theoretically at one final time. I think the rate as of July 1st, 2023 will be $159. I'm not certain of that, but 155 was the previous quote prior to amendment. I think that's about what it will end up being with the GSA change. So based on that, Mr. Chairman, you see that for fiscal year 2023, that is going to increase the LSO budget expenditure by $125,000. And that is going to increase the state auditor's office requirement for $75,000, reflecting the fact that when we change our per diem rate in the legislature, it changes the per diem rate that is used by a lot of other entities throughout government, including all the boards and commissions when they're getting their per diem. So they also haven't had a per diem change since 2005. And this basically tries to make sure that it's dynamically updated to be current.
So questions from the committee? Okay. I guess we'd open it up for public comment. Anybody on Zoom? Okay, close comment. It's to the committee. Senator Anderson,
Mr. Chairman,
turn your mic on.
can we do this? Aren't we always doing it so that people that are elected now don't get a benefit? Is this out of that category?
Mr. Chairman.
Senator, well, whoever wants to go first.
Go.
Mr. Chairman, I'll yield because he's the one who asked it.
I did ask. In the Rules Committee where this got referred to. And the answer was, no, this is for reimbursement for travel. So this is not an emolument. This is something that we can do. And we can do now. And in addition, just in case, as the good senator said, over 400 employees will be tied to this, not just legislators. So they too will be able to get a raise that they haven't seen in their per diem since 2005, nor have legislators seen any increase in their per diem since 2005. So, and then actually in the committee, we had a fixed number that was assigned, but actually, and it was amendment, which I thought was a very artful amendment from our chairman, who sits in this room as chairman in this building or in this office, to change it, tie it to the federal rate. So this way it would just be tied to the federal rate and continue to be there. And so, which actually I think is something that is reflective of what's going on statewide, and then be able to it has seasonal adjustments. It has adjustments in it that accurately reflect what the travel costs are. As you well know, Senator, that as you and I have talked, it costs as much to fill your pickup as it does your per diem rate for the day. So,
More.
which
I have a big
hopefully,
pickup.
hopefully that'll never change. I mean, as far as you being able to do it. I hope the price goes down.
Okay, thanks.
Please, Senator Rothfuss, please.
One other note that, well, I guess two other notes. One, you can already get a full per diem that covers your entire expenses right now. It's just that at that point, you're doing actual reimbursement instead of a per diem, which requires an awful lot more office paperwork. So it's not as if we're truly changing what people get. But we do know, and the reason for the fiscal note is the fact that most people, regardless of what their actuals are, just get the per diem because, I mean, I know I do. It's a lot easier. And unless I were staying in Jackson, for example, or Cody at the right time of year, I'm just going to go with the per diem. And if I lose a couple of bucks on that venture, I'm going to be okay with it.
I like the per diem because the last time I did an expense report was the last time I did an expense report. It's a great thing about not being in one of those businesses anymore. I closed public comment. Further from the
Move the
committee.
bill.
Moved and seconded. Linda, did Senator Nethercott leave an absentee?
She did not.
I think we should leave it open for her because I think we got 2 no's. Okay. Further discussions in the committee. Call the roll.
Senator Anderson.
Aye.
Senator Carew. Senator Salzar. And Chairman Kinsky.
No. So assuming that Senator Nethercott is still a yes, this is a little bit odd. I'm on management council now. I was not when all these things were talked about. So we need somebody currently on management council to move the bill. Is that right?
Yes. Theoretically, somebody from that.
Okay. What I'll do is I'll stand up and make the motion and then I'll turn it over to Senator Barlow for presentation. Does that sound good? Okay.
Is he gonna do the amendment too, or are you gonna do the amendment?
It's probably a good idea for me to do the amendment. I will move.
On the floor or?
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
move on the floor
Okay.
and do the amend. And then to Barlow.
Okay.
And I don't know if Eric was there when we did the amendment, wasn't he? Yeah, okay, so he's familiar with it. Okay. Well, thank you. We finished up in record time. I wish we had some of those other bills.